Are you feeling stressed about your career? Or are you already feeling the career stagnation because of the choices you made in the past and now you are regretting it? Don't worry, I am there for you. Hi everyone, I am Aditi Goyal, and in today's video I am going to share with you a very easy process that is going to help you make the career choice that you have been waiting for, and this is something which you will absolutely love. This is the only video you will need to watch to make that decision of yours, and trust me, you're gonna love it. Watch this video till the end and also give me a subscribe so that next video comes up and you're not gonna miss out. So the first step in deciding on how you go ahead with your career decision, number one, start by jotting down everything you would want in your ideal career. Write down all the points. Even if you think at this point that it is unrealistic, don't worry about it. Write it down, because today you would find it unrealistic, tomorrow it's going to be a reality. This is something which has happened with me. I started the same way and today I'm in exactly the place where I wanted to be. So number one, start by writing what kind of work level do you want. Do you want something which is more tedious, or do you want something which is more relaxed? Do you want a career where you have to travel around a lot, or do you want a more settled job? Do you want a career where there's a lot of networking, lot of interaction with the people, or do you want something which is more data driven, or something which you just have to work around on a laptop and not interact much with people? So you have to focus on even the nitty-gritties of the task. Do you want a career in a specific location? Do you want to move abroad, or do you want it in your own country? So these are also the questions you need to ask yourself. Start by asking right questions. That's the first thing. So start by jotting down all the points you would want in your career. When I wrote down my ideal career, I got a very good clarity on what do I want. I was very clear that I wouldn't be able to work for a specific company and do a specific kind of role throughout my life. I was very straightforward, clear on that. Secondly, I was also very clear that I would want a role where I get to interact with as many people as I want, because I'm a kind of person where I get energy from people around me. Right? So I need a career where there's a lot of interaction, a lot of people around me, and I can talk, I can share, I can listen, all of that. So a lot of communicative career. Thirdly, I was really interested into something where I get to also network with new kind of people, not something where I'm limited to my regular office people. Even if it takes a couple of years for me to do that, it's absolutely fine. But I was lucky enough that as soon as I graduated, I was able to start building something of my own. So this is how things went around for me, and it turned out absolutely as I wanted to, just immediately after my graduation. So this is how it really works. This is the first step of the process of actually deciding on your career. The second step, which follows the first step, is also very important, and this step is called visualization. Now what you do is every morning when you wake up, you sit in a meditative state, and I'm not asking you to meditate on a very silent way of meditation where you have to just breathe in and breathe out. I am not focusing on that. What I would rather suggest is to visualize the exact thing which you wrote in your diary, exact way of how your career would look like, and visualize that every day before sleeping and as soon as you wake up. When you do that, you are giving a very good signal to your mind that, bro, I want this, and it's your job to figure it out and give me that. This is what you are basically demanding. This is also a form of manifestation, but however, I take it in a more logical way so that everyone can actually try it and see the difference on their own. Whenever I want something, whenever I want something to go in a particular way, even if not in a particular way, something which is very ideal for me, I would actually sit and visualize. So when I visualize, it gives a very strong signal to my mind that this is possible and I can do it, and this is going to happen with me sooner or later. So this is just a process of giving signal to your mind, and trust me, this really works. Give it a try to yourself. If you don't believe me, this is the second step, visualization. The third step is for you to now actually identify the kind of tasks you love. Now, if you are someone who is more into data, if you are someone who is more into sales stuff where you go and actually talk to people, convince them to buy your products, or if you're someone who is more into branding, aesthetics, or maybe if you're something more into a lot creative side that comes around, maybe interiors, architecture, fashion, anything. See, there are a lot of career options these days, and you should not be just stuck in the traditional forms of career. And in fact, you can also choose more than one career. So it's not even limited to just choosing one and sticking to it. Of course, for the first few months or the first couple of years, you just dedicate to one side of the career, and later you start as a side hustle and expand better. But there is no limitation as of now. We are in such a good era. So as I was saying, focus on the kind of task you want to do. Don't focus on the job title that I want to be a CEO. So no one is going to give you the job of a CEO as soon as you are what 20, 22, 25. No. Try to see what kind of task you want to do. Do you want to be more in a position where you lead someone, or do you want to be more of an individual contributor type? Whether you are someone who really wants to build something, maybe you would want to get into construction, engineering, all sorts of that. So yeah, as I was saying, there's a lot of career options, and you can actually just focus first of all on listing down the tasks you want to do on a regular basis, and this is also going to help you shortlist further down on what kind of jobs you can apply for, or what other careers you can pursue. So that's the third step. So right now you can take some time to focus on all the kind of tasks you would want to do in your daily life. Number 4, now audit your time, audit your current time. Look into what you have been doing right now. If you're already in a job, what kind of tasks you are already doing. If you're still a student and you're just graduating, try to see what kind of projects you have already done, or what do you do throughout the day. What kind of hobbies you have engaged yourself in. Is there a particular passion which you really enjoy, which you really love, and which you have been pursuing it for a very long time. Sometimes a lot of hobbies which we think of as passion, but over the time we just lose the interest in it, so that is technically not our passion. More than that, you can also see in the current job what are specific things, what are the minor things which you are absolutely loving and would you want in the future career as well. So you can even list those things down and see how your time goes by and what else are you doing which is similar or which is near to your ideal career. So list down all the things, try to match number 1 and number 3 to take out the answers for number 4, that is audit your time. Let me give an example of mine. When I was making those decisions, and especially in the number 4, I actually noticed that I am meeting a lot of people. I am texting them that can we meet for a coffee, and people from different phases of life. I'm meeting them just to know what they're doing in their career, just to know how do they think about life. So I'm having all of these conversations and I'm really enjoying it. I'm taking so much of learning from them, and I just felt that I need to have this particular portion in whatever I pursue. At this point of time, I was actually seeing what am I doing with my time. So I was meeting a lot of people. Secondly, I was doing a lot of research, right? I have been too much into research, too much into studying, and too much into, learning new things. So I could see that there's a lot of conjunction between both of this, and I would really want, no matter whatever I pursue, that I would want these two things in my regular stuff. And right now, as I am training a lot of people, I'm designing courses for them. So see, both of the things are there, and I'm the live example of I have truly achieved on what my dream career looked like. So if I can do it, then why can't you? Moving on to the next step, that is the fifth one. Now you need to see what kind of skills would you want to pursue the kind of life you have already thought of in the first 4. Okay, so now after doing the first 4 steps, you would have a little bit of idea, okay, where do I want to go? For example, if you want to be a professional baker, so now you have to list down all the skills you would need to be a professional baker. If you are someone who wants to go in interior designing, so what are the kind of skills you would want to go for interior designing, or what are the kind of learnings do you need to have? So now you have to do your skill audit. You have to identify the skills ideally you would need for that particular role, and it's totally okay if if you don't have all the skills as of now. Okay, right now you're just writing it down, all the ideal skills you need, and you can easily look up into internet on what are the kind of skills you need. For example, if you're trying to be a professional baker, so apart from knowing the baking and the doing the fondant and doing all the frosting, you would also need to know how to run a business around baking, how to sell, how to promote, how to run a business on Instagram, or how to build a website, all of that, right? So you need to list down all the skills that you require. Now, after you have written down all the skills that you require to pursue that career, you also need to give a rating to yourself in those skills you have written it down. Now, there might be a lot of skills where you don't have any knowledge, any skill around it. It's totally fine. As I said, you don't need to have everything on day one. But however, it's important that you give a rating to yourself. It can be hypothetical. You might be underestimating yourself or overestimating yourself. That's absolutely fine. But you need to have that assessment for yourself. So please do that as of now. Take some time. You can pause the video as well, and you can match your ideal skills to the current skills that you have. Once you have done the skill audit, now it's time to identify how are you gonna learn those skills, right? So for example, let's say you have identified that you want to become a professional baker and you have already listed down the skills you need ideally. But however, you have identified that though you know how to bake a cake, however, you are still not aware on how to promote your brand, how to build your brand, and how to build a business around it. So basically, you need more of business skills in order to run a professional bakery. You need to have that learning along with. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to identify the learning resources. That's the next step where you will be identifying the learning resources and actually taking those learning. Now, here you have to invest some time. Number one. So first, when you identify the learning resources, it can be whether you go to a maybe some business school, not saying a proper university, maybe some certification you would want to do from some training institute, whether you would want to take some online courses. There are a lot of online courses available for everything these days. So you can learn from them. Secondly, you can also maybe go and meet people who have already established a business around baking or whatever industry you are in, and you can go and learn from them too. So if we sum up, you are basically now supposed to figure out how you are going to learn, and that is what you're supposed to do. If you are very time crunched, you can just invest 30 minutes a day for next 90 days into whatever you have to learn. 30 minutes of a day is basically nothing. If you can't take out 30 minutes of your day for your dream career, then I don't think you would be able to have your dream career. Okay, so take out that 30 minutes of a day. And ideally, the best way to do that is to dedicate a particular time slot every day. So it's going to be the same time every day, more or less, right? So when you do that, your brain is wired. Okay, I have to sit down at 7 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. to work on this particular thing. That's it. And then it's super easy. It's not so difficult. Within a week, you'll be used to it, and then your brain will start craving for that particular amount of learning. Now we are finally coming to the stages where we can actually start applying everything we have done so far and start testing whether this path usually works for us or not. So now what you have to do is taking everything we have put together, start applying it. Whether you have to apply for your job to get the dream career, start applying in it through LinkedIn, through job portals, or through recruiters. If you are someone who wants to start a business or start a freelancing career, then start building a website or do whatever you have to do in that action plan for you to take the step to your dream career. You have to now take the step because constantly learning will also not gonna give you results until and unless you apply it. So how I did was, once I was a bit confident with okay with my skills, with my learnings, and I knew that what I have to do next, I first started building my website. I started building my online presence because my job completely also depended on my personal brand, and the more visible I am on social media and in the offline market, it really matters a lot. So I started building my presence. I started building my website. I started meeting a lot of people, talking to a lot of people. And once I was very good with it, once I was okay with it, then I started offering my products and services. I was really lucky that I started getting business and attractions from day one. And this process continued. So for you, it's time that you start applying everything you have learned, test it, see how you feel. Now, after you have started operating, and if you feel that no, it's not working out for me, oh no, I just don't feel that this is the thing I wanted to do, oh, it's a lot challenging, I can't pursue it any further, it's okay. But dedicate a substantial amount of time before coming to that decision. It's okay if you're having that feeling, but give it more time. Try to see what could work more, what other ways you can use. So give at least a few months or at least 3 years. There's a thumb rule that you have to dedicate 1000 days to something before it actually starts working, right? So you can even think around that. So this is how your career decision actually works. No matter whatever age you are in, whatever phase of life you are in. If you have a lot of financial responsibilities, then I would suggest for you to first find something very secure and then start thinking about this process as a side hustle for in the beginning, because you need to take your finances take care of first too, right? So that's a very important obligation. So always figure it out what your priorities are. Share with me in the comments below what answer did you come up with for your career decision. How did you feel about the video? Did you like the process or not? What other things could we add? And what other videos would you want us to make that can help you with your career, with your life, with your growth and everything in general? So I'm really excited about this video and all the upcoming ones, and also try to create an impact in your life in one way or other. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button that is just there, and it's gonna give us a really good boost. Thank you so much. Stay tuned for more such videos.